Greetings, Internet. It is Shiro here with another Let's Play through of Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans. And last time we saved Lothar. This time, let's check it out. The Forest of Elwyn is a strategic key to securing the borderlands. An outpost near the southeast edge of the forest will serve as your stronghold. The king has assigned one of his knights to aid you, so that your task of ridding the area of Blackhand's dark veins may be more readily completed. Yep, you get knights. Now, this mission is where it kinda starts to get hard. Not really hard, but like the first time I go through this, you have to pace this aggressively. And this is a good example of where scouting out the map actually really helps. For instance, there's actually a gold mine in the lower right corner. It's through some trees, so that's probably actually not the best one to go for. For the first one. Because what happens is, you'll notice that where my knight is going is actually towards another gold mine. I keep forgetting about this one actually, because I usually go to it second. Which probably is the problem, because as you can see, it's completely surrounded by trees. So you just have to park your guys at the entrance of your base in order to protect the peasants. Sorry, too used to playing Orcs. Anyway, the benefit to this is obviously the attacking patrol that the Orcs send after you. As you can see, I've almost lost my knight. Yeah, and there's a raider, by the way, and those guys are complete BS, because they'll take out 3 footmen and a half of the 4th before you take it out. This is actually where archers get really fun to play, but we'll get that back to that later. As you can see, you just kind of leave your guys there, and they will send guys to the south actually, because there's 2 little paths, but they originate from the same point. And they'll actually send necrolytes down there. But with this, they'll have to attack your guys first before they attack the peasants, which is probably the best thing to do, because if you lose your peasants or all your units, you're kind of doomed anyway. And as I said, I went aggressive, so I built a barracks pretty much off the bat, because there's a grunt being sent in, and that's a skelly, so there's obviously a necrolyte somewhere. I'm just ignoring it because the necrolyte on its own does nothing. It only gets really devastating when the attacking party comes in. And I start thinking about what to do with this guy. And that I actually need to get some lumber. That was probably not the best choice of a spot for me to start cutting through, but it's not the worst. I've also learned by now that you want to give the peasants a couple squares of leeway to move around each other when they're dropping off stuff and going back to the gold mine or whatever they may be. Usually though, it's the bigger problem with the gold mine. The line will clutter everything.
Yes, my lord.
You don't really need to worry too much about wood off the bat on this one. The important thing really is to build up some kind of a meat shield army. And, yeah, no, this is where the game starts getting hard. In short, if you take too long, you might burn through all the gold mines that you have easy access to. And then they're basically free, has easy access to. The 4th one, you kind of have to hack and slash your way through the forest with peasants for a little while to properly get that. But, that guy got shot down there because he got attacked, I think.
Yes.
And as you can see, I lost my knight. I had left with 2 footmen who are probably wounded. And one's being whipped. And there's a skeleton.
My lord. Yes.
And go after the acolyte.
Yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. Your
When you have a large enough
Yes.
group, you generally don't have to worry about the acolytes, but when you have a small group, like I have with just the 3 to 4 footmen, depending.
The orcs are
Oh, hey,
approaching.
Raider.
Yes, my
And
lord.
one of my guys is injured. Let's see.
Your bidding. Yes.
Oh, what the hell? So what do you get down to?
Yes.
No, sorry, confusing him with a different guy. Anyway, another
Yes.
tip I can give probably is if it noticeably seems like you're gonna lose horribly,
Yes.
like, oh, you've lost all your peons, or you've lost all your guards, and they have like 2 raiders, or a bunch of
The orcs are approaching.
grunts and spearmen in your village,
Work complete.
then you
Yes.
might want to reset, but if you have a few guys left, you can still possibly make it. Yeah, no, this is the guy I confused. Literally 1 health. Peasants can't attack, which is the nice thing they fixed in 3.
Yes.
I think they also fixed it in 2, but even then they weren't too good for attacking, or I should say defending. Kinda got better in 3 in that regard, but anyway, that guy's down. You go after the necrolite. And
My lord.
this is definitely one
Yes,
of the,
my lord.
well, so far out of all the missions that I've shown you guys,
Yes,
this is
my lord.
easily the most annoying. But I'll be proven wrong on that one soon.
Yes.
Because if I remember right, the really annoying one is next.
Yes. Your command.
Yeah, so that guy,
Yes, my lord.
and apologies for having too much to talk about in terms of this. However, with the nice little supply of peasants, an extra barracks, and a starting army
Yes,
over
my
there,
lord.
this it should turn out well. Well, at the very least I have the setup I need.
Your command.
Now, ultimately speaking, between footmen and knights, which is better, it's not like you can just skip to knights. It kinda, you won't do good defensively with that at all. Ultimately speaking, they take a lot more time to kill than just a bunch of knights.
Your command.
Because obviously not only are there more numerically, but that basically means that there's more times that the enemy will have to stop and actually attack them, as opposed to just chasing down the one knight. And I'm currently working on a lumber mill because, oddly enough, I haven't built that yet. Don't know how. Just hasn't happened. Anyway,
Yes.
as you can see, Raider, Necrolite, Spearman, some of those guys in, take down the Raider, because the Raider is probably the biggest threat.
Yes.
Take down the Necrolite. Oh, sorry, 2 Necrolites, not a Spearman.
Yes, my lord. Your command.
And this is where having 2 barracks really come in handy, because they'll send in guys like clockwork, and if you aren't careful, you just won't have the production to keep your stuff around. And ultimately speaking, that is what's going to leave you in the most amount of trouble.
Your bidding.
Obviously I've also ignored stuff that needs to be repaired,
Yes, my lord.
but with a lumber mill we can finally actually start building the more advanced stuff. And it's this advanced stuff that will actually
Yes,
let us
my lord.
win easier, although that may or may not be debatable. At the very least, the lumber mill is basically necessary.
Work complete. Your will, sire.
And that's finally finished. And just building a little road there,
My lord.
so I can build off of that. And then church, blacksmith, and stable. And blacksmith and stable are the 2 new
There
things.
are enemies
Now,
nearby.
you actually can't build any
Yes,
knights
my
without
lord.
having both the blacksmith and stable.
Yes, my lord.
But you can build either one perfectly fine on its own.
Yes.
And as you'll notice, I completely forgot about the raider down there.
Yes.
Send those guys in to attack.
Yes.
And I'm down to 4 footmen.
Yes, my lord.
And remember, not that long ago I had like 8 of them.
Your command.
Take out the necrolite because I'm not leaving that guy around.
Yes, my lord.
And we can start building archers.
Yes.
Now this is where the
Yes,
archers
my
get to be
lord.
really,
Yes.
really fun. and also standard tactic with them. Make sure you have several knights or several footmen in front of them as a nice meat shield. They don't actually have to be capable of doing damage, they just have to take a hit.
Yes, my lord.
And actually having a cleric nearby
Yes,
to heal
my lord.
his,
Yes, my lord. Yes,
or to heal said meat shield is basically tanking 101. And general group format 101. But enough about World of Warcraft and most any MMORPG that functions under any kind of a similar system.
command.
Ultimately speaking though, you'll notice the footmen tend to be complete idiots and will charge forward. Because whenever they see a range that starts attacking them, they'll start going. And then if someone else is attacking them, they'll keep chasing. And they'll keep chasing. And they won't actually, half the time when you tell them to move away, they'll just keep attacking or move away and then get aggroed back. It's kind of ridiculous sometimes, but then again, so is the AI in this game. It's, yeah, it's slightly unbalanced at times. It knows what it's doing. It's actually really nice to have a game that knows what it's doing.
Yes.
But, obviously, when it comes down to it, hey, the challenge is the fun of it. And then waiting on the gold for the little church there.
Yes.
And you kind of really need it. Again, same purpose as I said before in past videos, you kind of need the healers. You can't really do this without that. However though, because I know the layout of this, follow this little tree line over here, and you'll get to a nice little opening. Said opening is actually the only way they can reach you at the moment, unless you somehow manage to survive for a obscenely long time, and they cut a path through the forest. But they come from the upper right part of that, because you'll see the upper left, that it leads to a dead end. Well, if you can call it that. It's just a very small indentation in it. Anyway, this is where it really gets nice. You have to learn to abuse choke points, just like in the last mission where the one archer attacked the ogre through the wall and he had to walk around. If you build a wall with your own footmen in that regard, it gets to be fun. And speaking of building walls, that will happen at some point. Yes, in this game you can build walls. Except unlike roads, they actually take time, and you can only build one at a time. But they don't take like really long, but still it needs time. And some units can actually just easily get through them. And as you notice, my guys are attacking there, and then spearmen, and as I watch this, as I said before, he just wandered off into the middle of fire, because the idiot walked into the crossbow bolts. For those of you that haven't seen that, look up Spoonie's video of him going through Robin Hood for the NES. Yeah, no, and I'm fully aware those weren't crossbow bolts, those were spears, but I had to make that reference. Kind of reminded me of that moment. But since I obviously just collapsed my own gold mine because I mined it out, the last one is actually down here in the corner. The last one of the easy to access ones. There are exactly two more. The one the enemy base is using, and then one that's right about the middle top of the map, which you can't get to unless you start clear cutting the north. And you'll actually start aggroing them if you're anywhere near that thing, because it's close enough to their base. Anyway, took the time to build the cleric. I'm going to completely ignore the far-seeing because it eats up too much gold for this mission. And when it comes to this mission, you really don't want to burn up too much gold. You only really have the 3 mines. And even then, you're kind of just buying time. Pro tip, don't ever walk into the base before you're even close to ready. Because I don't know why, it may just seem this way, but they seem to attack you more often when they actually know you know where they are, as opposed to when they know you probably know where they are.
Yes. Sire. Yes.
Because, let's face it, you're probably not going to be, like, 3 feet away from them through a bunch of wood that'll only take, a minute and a half to cut through, if that. Now, I'm actually going to start gearing up for a nice little attack on them. And, yeah, once you get down to this point, it starts turning into you better know what you're doing, or at least have some kind of a backup plan. And as you can see, my Valor is working really, really nicely. As long as your guy doesn't move, and also if you noticed, the skeleton on the ground and the Narcoite in the background constantly spamming Raise Dead. If they don't have the mana for it, it doesn't work. And the AI will just keep spamming it until they actually get enough mana. However, no point in actually paying attention to that because you have about 8 archers. The crossbows on them. And, you know, send more knights over there. Knights are actually somewhat of a gamble in this game, and that if you send them into trouble and they get taken out too quickly, you have a lot of money lost. And, that's actually me saving there, which just shows you how ridiculous this mission is. So at this point you'll probably see me saving, just in case, before all of these attacks and before, various things are set up, especially in the next mission. I try to play a little bit of the mission after while I'm trying to think of what to bring up for this one. Although most of my thoughts and statements and tips are actually ones I come up with as I'm going through this, as opposed to with a second look back. But this is also the point where I really, really want to say I hope YouTube ever gets an option so that we can say, oh hey, my video is between 15 and 25 minutes, and just leave it a question mark with a complete lie of a load bar for time. At least an option for it. It'd be really nice. It'd actually be really interesting and more, what's the word I'm trying to properly think of? More fun to see Let's Plays and not have any actual clue how long they are. Granted, you could just try to go full screen and completely ignore the bar. That always works. However, for some of us who don't want to do that, it's perfectly fine. Also, 2 raiders. Not good. 1 archer down, 2 archers down, 3 archers down. Oh, I got 2 archers down. And I'm left with a single knight and 4 archers. This is not going to be good. Now, that spot on the left is actually also a dead end, I believe. Keyword, I believe. I'm sending these guys out just to scout, basically. Because I know their base is on the left, and I was actually curious what was over here. And as you can see, we're not that far actually from the base itself, so it is entirely possible to cut through it. However, once they know that hole is there, generally speaking, the AI will actually start sending guys wherever the shortest route is. And there's a gold mine over there. And build some more archers, send them over. Generally speaking, if you can, try to always build an army. And apparently I killed someone. I'm going to get spearmen. Might have been a peon. I think I've said this before, but they tend to leave guys to guard gold mines. And as you can see, that raider kind of messed me up. So did all the skeletons. And I know full well they're going to send those guys after me soon. Yep. That's what they'll do. They'll raise your own guys when you attack and just send them back at you. The timer's long enough, it can do something. That's just me confirming that there's no hole in the wall, because they'll usually start cutting through. If you take too long, there will be a hole in the wall. But I'm using the knights as a mini tank, if you will. Switching all focus to try to keep the guys healed up. And basically at this point, with 2 archers against a spearman, it's child's play. And as you can see, all I'm left with is a single cleric and 2 archers, plus 2 more that are on the way. And the AI will fail, they'll actually have them walk into the wall of trees first before they say, okay, let's go around. This is where I had a stroke of genius. And I think I actually did this once before a long time ago. You plant the archers right at the corner. If they have enough range, they'll take pot shots at anyone getting close to them before they even can. And with a nice little packed-in area, they'll actually have to finish off that guy before they can cut through to the other archers. And also, you'll notice occasionally, sometimes, with the gold mines, stones in the corners, someone always gets stuck. So you'll have to check regularly for that one, because the AI has no clue what to do when that happens. It just assumes there's no way to move and says, okay, this unit can't be moved, there are no options. We're not going to check again. And this is actually where the cleric gets to be really abusive in like these little formations over here. If I had more, maybe it'd be more abusive. Anyway, keep training. And at this point, I believe we're going to start contemplating what they actually upgrade. And also, I can now see them parking their guys on the edge of their base over there in the little mini-map. As you can see, the red dots. Just to the north and a little to the west. Assuming, of course, up is north. That's mostly just necrolytes. Some spearmen. Not much. But move these guys. And start potentially building more. As I said, you kind of gotta be a little aggressive. You can't just say, okay, I got enough guys, let's just wait. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. And this is me saving just in case. And I'm calling this one Possible Fail Let's Play version. However, too long name. You can only put in Let's or LP, and as you can see, all these archers just killed the raider before he got to me, and that guy before he got to me, and that guy before he got to me, and that raider just after he got to me, and the spearman. And probably the best tip I can give is, don't waste your time like me. Put your guys in that little area over here, just before here, with the choke point. And you'll actually probably be able to do this mission fairly easily and not as much time as I did. But at this point, I'm sending my guys over to possibly attack. Because they just attacked, I just took out their guys. They're not going to have the units that they normally do, because they only send stuff when they have access. I just took out that guy, and the Grunt, the Necrolite, and that Raider didn't stand a chance, as did that one. The Cleric even got off a shot. And Clerics can't heal themselves. So, start spamming. And I'm left with enough guys, especially after I just took out those guys. And then Spearman. Best thing to probably do is either take out their, take out their barracks, and here are the choices you can see. And it's basically barracks, farm. I believe that's the blacksmith up there on the right. Yeah, that's the blacksmith for the orcs. And I believe I'll click on that at one point actually. Spearman. You generally don't want to tell all your guys to attack a building, because they'll keep firing in that building until it's destroyed. So if it's like the barracks and the building units, you want to leave some guys to just generally attack the area. And they'll actually auto-target moving guys before that. Like as you can see, the raider took out one of my archers because the others were just focused on the farm. And then, as you can see, barracks gone, farm gone. Farm getting on fire. And that's the kennel. That's what they're using to make the raiders, like the stables for the humans. Take out the farm, work on the blacksmith and the kennel. The kennel, if you have a suicide party essentially, summon in the kennel. Just to take it out, because the raiders are probably going to be the most troublesome thing you run across so far for the orcs. There's actually one slightly more annoying character, but pretty much it's the raiders you always have to worry about. The necrolytes aren't that bad on their own, and the skeletons they summon are easily doable as a problem-solving puzzle. I'm not quite sure where my train of thought went on that one.
Yes.
I kind of got stuffed up nose here. Yeah, it's just that time of year. Everything's basically a little off with me because I have naturally dry skin, which kind of leads me to drying out quicker, especially when there's not enough moisture in the air. Well, not as much moisture in the air as compared to summer, let's say. Anyway, all they have left to make units is the little temple that they have there. Isn't that big of a problem. And gotta make sure you take out all the peons because otherwise they'll just start rebuilding. And here's a pro tip: if you get attacked and you're trying to build something, and your peon or your peasant starts walking away from the building, in order to finish said building, you have to repair it. You don't actually use any resources, but it's the same command to actually build it. Anyway, clicking my peasants, sending them up to that gold mine. You can actually click harvest on the minimap. However, if you end up landing on a patch of grass, they'll actually tend to go towards the lumber. And as you can see, all we have left is the town hall on the farm. Take down the town hall, take down the peon that just spawned, and then send everyone in to attack.
Yes.
And the knights got here. Send them into attack. And that's basically it for this mission. You are victorious. Saving here. Rank knight. Score 5,000. Currently I'm a knight now. Not sure exactly why I should be so happy about that, but that was that mission, and everyone have a good day, morning, afternoon, whatever. Later. Bye. See you next time on the next Let's Play of Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans.